Do you ever feel like your attention is just constantly under attack? Like you're being pulled in a million different directions? Well, you are definitely not alone. In this explainer, we're going to look at a pretty timeless solution to this very modern problem, the Tao of Digital Detox. We're going to explore how some ancient wisdom can help you get your focus back in a world that feels like it was designed to distract you. So, let's dive in. So, here's our game plan. We're going to walk through a whole day, from the moment you wake up to when you go to bed. And I'm going to show you 5 simple Taoist-inspired rituals that you can use to stay centered. We'll cover everything from how to have a calm morning, how to find these little pockets of stillness, all the way to mastering your focus and really winding down at night.
All right, let's just start with a quick reality check, shall we? Does your brain ever feel like a web browser with like 100 tabs open all at once? You know that feeling, that constant buzz of notifications, the never-ending to-do list, just being pulled everywhere? Or hey, maybe this is more your speed. You pick up your phone just to check one little thing, and then you look up and bam, 30 minutes have completely vanished down some rabbit hole of endless scrolling. If you're nodding your head right now, trust me, you are in the right place. We're about to find a much, much better way.
Okay, so here's the absolute core idea of this whole thing. Technology isn't the big bad enemy here. Nope. The real problem is what you could call unconscious consumption, that mindless scrolling, just letting all that digital noise run your day. Taoist wisdom gives us this powerful alternative to navigate our digital world with actual intention. So our very first ritual starts the second your day does. It's called the Wu Wei Morning. Now, Wu Wei, it roughly translates to effortless action or non-forcing. Really, it's all about starting your day with a calm intention instead of just chaotic reaction. And just look at the difference here. I mean, it's night and day, right? On one side, you have that typical reactive morning. You grab the phone, you get that instant spike of anxiety, and your attention is shattered from the get-go. And on the other, you have the Wu Wei Morning, a gentle, intentional start. You're choosing between stress and calm. It's that simple. And the best part, it is so simple to do. For the first 20 minutes of your day, that's it. No phone, no content. You just exist. You let your mind wake up on its own terms, gently, without that immediate, jarring jolt of notifications and news feeds. Now, this isn't just some feel-good philosophy. There's actually real science to back this up. See, when you skip that morning phone check, you avoid that instant dopamine hit that trains your brain to constantly hunt for distraction. You are literally, from minute 1, setting your brain up for better focus and less anxiety for the entire rest of the day. Okay, so you've started your day with calm. That's awesome. But how do you keep that going when the world gets crazy busy? Well, the next step is to intentionally create these little pockets of stillness all throughout your day. There's this fantastic line from the Tao Te Ching that says, "It is the empty space that makes the bowl useful." Think about that. Our minds are exactly the same. In a world of just constant input, we absolutely need those moments of emptiness. Little bits of digital silence to process things, to reset, and to actually think clearly. And here's how ridiculously simple this is. Every couple of hours, just take 5 minutes. That's it. Put your phone face down, no input, just breathe and let your thoughts settle. Kind of like sediment in a glass of water. This tiny little pause is like hitting the reset button for your brain's ability to focus. But what about that urge, that powerful, almost magnetic pull to check your phone? Well, ancient Taoists actually had a name for distracting thoughts like that. They called them dragons. Now, they're not evil, they're just powerful forces that we need to understand. Today's dragon is that constant impulse to scroll, and it's usually fueled by boredom or stress or anxiety. And here is how you tame that dragon. The next time you feel that pull, just pause for 3 seconds. That's it. And ask yourself, hey, what's really driving this impulse right now? That one simple question shifts you from being reactive to being conscious. You see, you're not trying to slay the dragon. You're just learning to work with it. So now that we're creating some space and learning to manage our impulses, we can actually start to cultivate some real, deep focus. And that brings us to our next ritual, the art of single tasking. In Taoism, the path is all about doing one thing at a time, but with your full, undivided attention. All right, I need you to hear this, because it's a real game changer. The idea that we can effectively multitask, it's a complete and total myth. It just doesn't exist. What we call multitasking is actually just rapid task switching. And every single time you switch, you lose a little bit of your cognitive energy. It's like you're trying to fill a bucket that's got a slow leak. By the end of the day, you're just completely drained and wondering why. The antidote to this is to practice single tasking. Just choose one thing, set a timer, and when, not if, but when your mind wanders, you just gently guide it back with no judgment. This isn't just some productivity hack. It's literally a way to rewire your brain for deep, meaningful focus. And that brings us to the end of the day. In Taoism, the evening is all about returning to the root. It's a time to disconnect from all the noise of the day and just reconnect with yourself before you go to sleep. This evening ritual, it sends a really clear signal to your body and your mind that it is time to wind down. An hour with no screens, maybe some calming tea, and some slow, intentional breathing. It all helps you transition from the go of the day to a state of rest. And that makes sure that digital noise doesn't follow you into your dreams. Whew, okay, we have covered a lot of ground. So now let's bring it all together into a really simple, practical toolkit that you can use for reclaiming your focus. Let's just circle back to that central theme one last time. This is not about rejecting technology. It is all about embracing intention. It's the difference between consciously choosing where you want to go and just being passively pulled along by all those digital currents. And this mind map just ties it all together beautifully. See? You start the day with calm, you create these moments of stillness, you learn to observe your urges instead of acting on them, you practice single tasking to unify your focus, and then you consciously unwind in the evening. Each ritual supports all the others, creating this really powerful system. And you know, that really gets to the very heart of Taoist wisdom. Focus isn't something you get by forcing it through rigid discipline. No, it's something you cultivate by creating the right conditions for it to just emerge naturally, just like water finding its path. So, I'm going to leave you with this one question. You don't have to do all of this overnight. That's not the point. Just pick one thing. Which one of these rituals will you try today to start reclaiming your focus? Thanks for joining me.
Like and subscribe for timeless wisdom.